Hello, lovely ladies in the Goddess Creations for Women group and beyond, because this video is going all over the world. We are on to week 10 of the Goddess Creations Empowerment Marathon, and at the moment, this video is video number 19 in the series. And I have an amazing woman that is going to be sharing with us. Hi, I'm Shamna Lee Gray from Goddess Creations, and I am known as the empowerment midwife. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you and interviewing this lovely lady called Tasha Chen. Now, Tasha Chen is known as the Money Manifester. She is an international speaker, author, and coach of business people, and she is also the CEO of the Science of Getting Rich Academy. Now, following the teachings of the Science of Getting Rich and the Law of Attraction, among others, by doing these daily affirmations or journaling, Tasha has mastered the mindset and tools that are needed to accumulate wealth in an easy and relaxed way. Now, Tasha is on a mission to share the wealth of this wealth of knowledge by being in just by being the fun example of how you can enjoy success and how you can live life the certain way, inspiring many of millions of people to do the same. That is her mission, and I am totally in support of this. Now, today, Tasha will be, among others, sharing on how we are blocking our money awareness and how we can align to financial abundance. So, no more delay, and with no further ado, I would welcoming the lovely Tasha Chen.
Ah,
Hello.
hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Wealthy Wednesday. It's a wealthy Wednesday today at the time of this recording.
Yes, the 19th of February.
Yep. It's
So, so
great to be.
Tasha, how are you? What is your actually something just interesting? What is your most abundant feeling that you are having at this moment?
Hmm. You know what? As you were introducing me, I thought to myself, Shamna is in the Netherlands. I'm in Florida. We're doing this, sharing of wisdom out to the world. Like, how is this my life? How do I even know someone that lives in the Netherlands, right? And we got both got Jamaican roots, and I just feel like, wow, the universe is so in support of all of our missions, right? I could have never imagined that our paths would cross, that we'd be able to share our messages on such a global platform, and yet here we are. So I'm feeling very grateful and abundant about that right now.
Yes, yes. Oh, I am so thrilled to have you here. Well, the theme that we are going to be talking about, or at least sharing on, is money manifesting.
Mhm.
But as many of us, and I'm looking at the beautiful viewers who are watching, and I want to say thank you for watching. If you're watching live, do a hashtag live. And if you're watching in the replay, do hashtag replay. If you have any questions, bring them on because I'd love to share them with Tasha. Now, I would like to know, because you being the money manifester, there was a time when you may not have been. So, what was the journey to come into this beautiful space being?
Mhm. I am so grateful that you asked that question, Shamna, because usually people ask, what are your secrets? What are the things that, like you've done? And while I'm always open and willing to share that, I also love letting people know I didn't just read a book and magically get here, or watch a movie or watch a YouTube video. Like, I can still feel the feelings of fear around money that I had just a few years ago. I can still feel the angst of what am I going to do to take care of myself and these kids because I'm newly divorced. Like all the everything that people go through around money when they don't feel like they have enough of it or they don't know where it's going to come from. I've been through very deeply for an extended period of time. And like you said, yes, there was absolutely a period when it wasn't all just, there's more than enough money in the bank and life is great, right? So let me share a little bit about that. I am from Jamaica. And one of the things about being Jamaican is that we are taught at a very young age that if you want to be successful, you have to work really hard. And in fact, the more success you want is the more more willing you have to be work harder than everybody else. And so I bought that hook, line, and sinker. I worked really hard. I worked really hard in school. Then I got a job. Climbed the corporate ladder really quickly. Then I got a business, which was always my dream. Always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So started a business from scratch. And overnight, literally went to overnight. By overnight, by the way, I mean within 4 years. So 0 to 4 years, from $0 to seven figures. To be honest, that's relatively fast.
In 4 years?
4 years. 4 years.
Well, let
So
us in on that secret. But no, I'm willing to find out how we can do that. Thank you. Continue.
yeah, so I did that, and then things outside of my circumstances changed. The economy changed. Financial resources changed. Like things outside of me started changing, and I didn't have the tools to be able to be in control of my situation. So my life controlled me. And so here's what happened. Literally from here, top of my game, seven-figure business, winning awards, local celebrity. I was featured on the local newspaper time and time again. President's Award from the President of the United States of America, like major top of your game, to literally overnight having to file for bankruptcy, getting a divorce, and being in and out of the hospital like it was a revolving door because my health just went to crap. And so life went from this woman who's like mega successful, crushing it in business, to being single mom, no job, no business, no income. What am I going to do? And this period in my life was when I came face to face with the monster that exists, I feel, in all of us, which is fears around money.
Mm.
I stayed up so many nights worrying about money. I would go to the mailbox and there'd be constant overdraft statements or past due bills or, financial things needed my attention. And the more I would be afraid is the more evidence of that fear I would receive in my life. It would just start showing up in abundance, right? So I want to talk about that a little bit further on, is that I was in fear and I was getting evidence of that fear, and I was getting a lot of evidence of that fear. And I just decided, one day I was like, enough. I have a famous mailbox story that I tell. It was actually, I came home one day and you ever dread like dealing with your finances?
Oh, yeah. I'm afraid I still do sometimes. Yes.
Yeah, that was me, right? I and it wasn't even paying the bills for me, Shamna. It was going to the mailbox, because in this mailbox were bills that needed to pay, were just a constant reminder of how much of a failure I was financially at this time in my life. I was getting overdraft statements because of overdraft fees.
Yeah.
Like that's how far gone it was. I was getting past due bills. Not because I didn't even have the money to pay the minimum on the bills, but because I wasn't even looking at the bills.
Exactly.
I couldn't even handle it.
So it's
Right?
almost like paralyzing, actually.
Paralyzing.
Paralyzing.
Absolutely. And so I stood this day at the mailbox, literally just to open it. My stomach was in knots. I was in such dread and fear. And I just glanced at the car, and my two kids were sitting in the car because we had just come home. And I looked at that box. I felt all the feelings. I opened the mail. I could see the red stamp, overdue stamp on the envelope in the mailbox. I looked back at the kids and I was like, this is enough. I'm done. I am done living a prisoner to money. Done. And that started my journey to the woman that you see here today. And, we're going to talk a lot about how other people have blocks to money, that I'm able to tell you and talk about this because it was me, right? I've been there. I've gone through the process. I've done the work. I'm on the other side. And I always tell my clients, listen, if you need a perfect mentor, that's not me. Because I tell you what, I'm still on the journey. I'm still on the
But who isn't? Who
Yeah,
isn't?
I still find myself saying, "Oh my gosh, here's a money thing I need to deal with. Why am I not dealing with it?" Right? And so, anyone that's telling you they've arrived, I would challenge you to question them, and I would just say, "I have not. I'm still on the journey." But what you will get from me is, first of all, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to tell you the truth of where
Yeah.
I've been and where I am, and I'm going to always let you know, hey, listen, here's how I did it. Here's
How?
how I teach other people how to do it. Here's what they're doing. Sometimes, honestly, Shamna, the wisdom comes from watching my clients do a little twist on what I say, and it works even better. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Right. And I'll also share, hey, listen, here's where I am still in the struggle,
Yes.
and here's how I'm working through it. So real time, if you want real time watching somebody work through this, that then I'm definitely your person.
Yes. Well, I want to really thank you. And I don't know if you mentioned it, but I mean, I'm also, as you may have said, also from Jamaican background. And I so resonate, not resonate and like, but resonate, last in my cells, recognize the programming that is, and I'm not the type that is very skin focused, but I did get the programming of, you are a woman, you are in a different country, you are black, you are Jamaican, you have to, and all of these things that were validating, let's say, why I should be working harder. And it just wasn't in alignment. So and yet, because of that programming, it was something I did do or
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
did do or do,
Yeah.
which is something that I may let go of. So what would you say are let's just start with the blocks, let's say, around money. What are the blocks that we are allowed to overcome? What would you say are the blocks?
Yeah, so I want to go back to ours. Like our thing in common is clearly, the our culture. So where we were raised, the Jamaican roots, some of the things that are there. But you know what? I know because I've served clients from all over the world. Every single woman, this is for goddesses, has their own thing.
Yeah.
It might be something that's more religious or something that's not even a culture but more specific to your family. I had a Scottish woman tell me one time, over the course of 400 years in her family, no one had ever had money. Right?
Mm.
They had traced all the way back 400 years, and money had never been in her family. So you can just imagine, like, what's deeply enrooted in her beliefs around her ability that she should be rich. When 400 years pass by, no one in her family line has been rich. So I just want to say that while for me our thing has been culturally working hard, I want everyone watching to know that we all have a thing, and the best gift that we can give ourselves is just to accept that we do, and then we can go from there, right? So let's turn the light on. I'm going to share 3 blocks. These are the ones that I see most prevalent, and especially with women, because I do support men and women, but especially with the women, these are the 3 that I see. And the first one is money trauma. Somewhere in our lives, we've had an experience with money that created some trauma for us. And so we've created this association. So first of all, we have the trauma, which causes pain, right?
Yeah.
Causes fear, creates all kinds of anxiety. And this trauma is related to money. Now,
Uh,
money is a thing that we want and need and desire, and we can't help it, right? In order to live this life and the way our society is set up, we need, just like we need oxygen to breathe and stay alive, we need money. We do, right? So here's this thing that we need in order just to survive. Let's not
mm.
even talk about thriving. Just to survive, we need it. And if we have a painful association to that thing that we need, now it's like, I want nothing to do with you because you cause me pain.
Well, I do want to jump in there because I have recently rediscovered that my money trauma was when I used to live in England. And I'm not pointing fingers at my parents because they were doing the best that they could, but that my father had to leave England to go to Europe or, Belgium and the Netherlands for work. And
Mhm.
therefore, after that, we followed him to the Netherlands. And but what that did to my programming is that I was uprooted from friends and family because of money.
Money. Yeah.
So that I realized is my money trauma. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's block number one, right? We have unhealed money trauma. So obviously, in the course of our conversation today, this is just all I'm doing for you is turning on the light switch so that you can be aware. Because I also truly believe and live by awareness is 80 to 90% of the solution. Like once the light switch is on, you're like, now I see. And if from there you want to change it, then everything that you need to support you will start to come to you. So the first,
Absolutely.
awareness is the first thing. So number one is unhealed money trauma. Number two, near and dear to my heart, especially with women, and probably because of the trauma, but because of other things, we block money because we do not believe we deserve it, right?
Yeah.
So we have what I call deservingness issues around money. And in our program and in our teaching, there's a statement that we say often: it is my right to be rich. And you cannot imagine, like, even physically, what happens to people when they come across that statement, because it's such a, like, in your face, like, oh my God, no, 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 no. I don't know if I have the right to be rich. I don't know if I can be or should be, or, right? In essence, strip all that away. I don't deserve to be. I don't deserve to be.
It's
And just think
powerful.
about all the things, trauma, like all the blocks that creates, because here again is this thing that you want and need, right? So you need it to survive, and then you desire it to thrive, but you don't believe you should have it. So right there, the gates is locked, shut. Money cannot come, right? Because you're like, I don't deserve it, I shouldn't have it. So that's major block number two. And then the third one that I would say, and there's several, but again, back to our goddesses, right? So this, for me, those of you that know me and you've heard a little bit about my background with the belief about working hard to create success, the next block is that you have to work hard.
Hmm.
And we did a poll in our group, and 44% of the people that responded said they don't believe they can achieve financial freedom because they think it's too hard.
Because they think it's too hard.
They think it's going to be too hard.
Ah, in that way.
Yep, and another 25 to 30% thought they don't believe they can achieve financial freedom because they don't believe they deserve it.
Yeah.
So between those two, it's like, oh my goodness. I mean, really, if I told you, listen, we're not living in the dark ages anymore where everybody accepted that we're going to slug through life and suffer and maybe leave a pension for our next generation. Like those days,
Hmm.
dark ages are gone. We're all about living life and enjoying and traveling and having fun and being free and relaxed. And if I start telling you, in order to do that, you're going to have to work really hard. You're not going to have any time for your family. You're not going to have time for yourself. Your health is going to suffer, right? You are going to be overwhelmed, exhausted. You're not going to sign up for it. You're
Hmm.
not. So you have this belief that says, in order to get the thing that I want, I'm going to have to do something I don't want to do. Block.
Ah. So actually, what is then the way that we can attract the abundance, the not only, I wouldn't say even financial freedom, the emotional, free ourselves from this emotional block. There are so many words that even if I voice them, it's almost as if I'm attracting the
Yeah,
negative. I mean,
I
it's
hear
like, how do I do this?
I
So
hear
how
you.
can we free ourselves
Yeah,
to be a living
yeah,
life to
yeah,
the fullness and abundance
yeah.
we do deserve? As you said, we deserve to be rich. How can we free ourselves to allow this to enter, to come, to be?
So I want to tell you the truth, right? I want to be completely transparent and honest with you. The three things that I just talked about, if you resonate with any of that, the truth is it's been long years that you've been working with those blocks. And I can tell you steps, three ways that you can begin today to unravel them. But I'd be lying with you if I told you you're going to do these three things and it's going to be gone, right? That's just not being true or authentic. It didn't take me overnight. There are things I did and I continuously did and I continue to do. And in our program, that's obviously what we share. But I can tell you the three things I'm about to tell you is a major start in the process. And it's not rocket science. It's going to blow your mind how simple it is. But I want you, if you want to change, that's it. If you just want to begin the process, then be willing to do these three things and watch how your money story begins to change. So number
I'm
one,
excited. Hang on. Let me just let this the excitement just go through me. Hang on. And I know you for a while, so I might even really have heard about it. Let me just feel the excitement of finding out what
yeah,
these three wonderful things are that you would love to share with us.
yeah. So you know what? Here's the thing. All the trauma, all the blocks, all the everything that we just talked about, it's creating a story in your mind.
Mm.
That story plays over and over and over again. Every time you find yourself in a money decision, a money fear, you need to do something to receive money, that story is playing over and over again. So believe it or not, the number one way to unblock, release the trauma, do all this, begin the process for yourself is to write a new money story. It sounds so basic, doesn't it? But here's the thing. I've proven it. When I was in my deepest fears, what I did was every time a fear came up, I have a journal out in my library. Every time a fear came up, I would be sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to make enough money to take care of myself and the kids and pay the mortgage and do all this. And so I would feel the fear and I would grab my journal and I would write, I'm so grateful. All my bills are paid. I have excess all the time. My kids do all the things they want to do. I'm buying new clothes. I literally would just take the fear and write a new story around it. Right? So step number one, you have your daily journaling. I would say write a new money. Right now, when this is done, sit down and think about the money story that's playing in your mind. You know what it is. You know all the fears that you have. I'm not good enough. I can't ever make enough. I don't have the right opportunities, whatever they are. And let yourself see and hear it and then decide, well, what story would I like to be living on?
Oh, what would I like? That yeah, and that just frees you up and makes you feel
Yes.
juicy.
Puts you back in the power play, right? Like what would I don't clearly, like I said, these stories that I was telling myself, the fears that I was having, I started getting evidence of it in the mailbox every day and in my email and when the phone would ring with bill collectors. That story was playing out in my life. What if I create a new story? Can that story play a different reality in my life? And it did, right? So that's number one, is write a new story. And then I'm going to encourage you, after you've written it, read it every day. You know, just wake up every morning and read your new money story because it is going to begin to create a new money reality in your life. So that's number one, easy peasy. I love writing new money stories. I didn't just do this once and forgot about it. Every time I reach a new level financially, I write a new money story, right? Because it keeps changing. So that's number one. Number,
And you read it every day is part of the number one.
yes,
Just to
yes.
empower it, just to anchor
Yes,
it.
yes. Right now with this, you're going to be baby steps. Like I'm not reading mine every day as the way I used to in the beginning. In the beginning, I had to offset the lies that were still very dominant. Now I've done the work. So that's the kind of the reward for you is over time, you won't even have to read this every day. It's just going to become a way of life for you. You're going to
Yeah.
write a new story. You're going to believe it the moment you write it. And then you're going to start to see evidence of it. But for right now, because you probably never have done this before, write it out and read it a couple times. Read it for the next 30 days even, right? Every day for the next 30 days.
Mm.
All right. So number two, here's the biggest thing that I would encourage, and this is part of my paid program. I'm giving this to you guys like with love. Clean up your money. Go clean up your money. One of the biggest steps that you can take towards changing your financial reality is putting yourself back in your own power. So for me, remember my story where everything was falling apart. I wasn't even looking at my bills anymore, not because I couldn't pay the minimums. I just was so like you know what? I just gave my power away to money. So what I encourage people to do is sit down, get all your bills, put them in a nice folder. If you do nothing else, if you don't even send a payment, if you just do that, if you just put yourself back in your power with your money, you're one step closer to creating a new financial reality. Because if you're not doing that, then everything is just running crazy haywire in your life, right? So what I want to encourage you to do is get your bills together, get all your, I call them open money cycles. So let's say, oh, I need to file my taxes. I'm 3 years behind in my taxes. Get the paperwork together, put it in a folder. Just the intention to complete it is powerful enough, right?
Mm.
So put yourself back in a power position with your money. And if you have the ability, Shamna, in our coaching, when we start, I tell people send an extra dollar on all of your bills, just $1. Every single person watching can find an extra dollar to send in the mail towards a bill. Every person can do that. I know it,
I
right?
love that.
Because it's not about how much money you sent. It's the intention that, you know what, I have more than enough and I'm going to pay this off very quickly.
I love that because that does give you that sense of abundance. It does give you that
Yes.
feeling of, hey, let me just do that, and that just
Yes.
as I said, that makes you feel, that makes money feel sexy, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's number two
Okay. Heck
that you
yeah.
can do today, right? So just get your money, clean up your money. That's what I call it.
Yes.
Clean up
Clean
your
up
money.
the money.
And the extra step to that is if you can send an extra dollar, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Any extra amount that you have, right? Number three is take action. I cannot tell you how much money is literally standing at the door to you goddesses. It is literally at your front door. You want it and it wants you so badly. It wants to come into your life, wants to please you, provide for you, protect you, make you feel safe. Money wants you as badly as you want money.
Oh gosh.
And and I want you to think of that as it's literally outside your front door. It's here, it's there, it's waiting for you, it wants you, wants to come into your life. But if you're not taking the action of opening the door, money is always going to be on the outside of your life.
Oh, that's actually quite mean, Tasha, because my next question is like, how do we open that door? How do we take that action? But that doesn't matter because that is part of what you do. You show us how or teach us how to take that action.
Yeah, and for me in the coaching and the sharing, right, the mentoring that I do, we talk a lot about the difference between working hard as action versus taking inspired action. So
Absolutely.
if you see my life today, it's like, how do you go to yoga 2 days a week? Someone in my group said, I don't know how you manage your calendar and all this stuff. I said, let me tell you the things on my calendar, the commitments on my calendar, the must do's. 5 things are on my calendar for the entire week. Here's what they are. I go to the gym 3 days a week. I go to yoga 2 days a week. I have a call with our graphic, like our marketing design guy on Tuesdays. And every other week, I have a call with our social media team. That's it. Those are the must do's on my calendar. That's my work, right? So I've gone from you need to work hard as action to understanding inspired action. And that's what
Mm.
I'm going to talk about when I say take action. Many of you want more money and you have ideas. You have the things. I don't need to tell you what to do. None of you. You all know the things, you have the ideas, you have the steps you need to take. You know what to do. You're just not doing it. And
Ooh.
that is like opening the door. And I'm not here to tell you go schedule 40 hours of work. No, I'm telling you, you've been getting a hit to make a phone call to someone. Gosh, call them. Right? You've been getting the idea of this product or this program, write it out. You've been getting, something, there's something in you that you need to take action on, because that's the only way that you are going to create the channel to receive the money. It's the thing that makes you open the door.
Yes.
Money can come in. And if you're not taking the action, you can't receive.
And even the opening of the door, I just want to say that Angie said that don't let your money have an affair with someone else. I
That's
find that
my
quite
Andy. Mwah!
yeah. But I must say is that even the opening of the door, if you are, it's almost like if it is like opening the door to invite a guest in. If you
Yeah.
haven't tidied up your internal mess, there's
Mhm.
nowhere for them to sit.
Right.
So in a way, what it is that just make sure that we are doing, take that action, look at your bills, get rid of the fear, because when you open that door, then it can enter. I like the way you put that, and me and my fantasy is also doing its own thing. So yeah, thank you. So
You're
right, so that would be helping you to take that action, is to uh, that thing that has been niggling you, that
welcome.
I have to, and that you're not doing because of your fear programming.
Mhm.
Actually, what you're saying is just do it, or at least take the first step towards it,
Yes,
even if it's the first step towards it,
absolutely.
no matter how terrifying.
Yeah, no matter how terrifying. Absolutely. Take action. So, the three things that you can do today is write a new money story. Just decide, what would I like the story playing in my head all the time? What would I like that story to be? Write it out. Clean up your money. That's like, just go look at your bills, go put things in order, right? And then number three is, you have been inspired. I am not asking you, I know you all have ideas and things that you are being inspired to do. Take the first step. Just take some action, because until you do, the door is shut and money is going to stay on the outside of your life.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So wow, is there anything else? Because I mean, I know you have this huge, vast load of energy and information that you can share with us, and I just love seeing how you are showing up in the world and how you are also reaching so many lives. Is there something that the women can? Well, actually, you have already given us the tip. Is there something that you would like to still just add on a different angle to the money manifesting? Because you've shown us how to get rid of the blocks, and actually how to align to it. Is there something extra that you would want to share with us? It doesn't matter. It's totally okay. And where can we find you?
Yes. Okay. So one of the things I think that we discussed, right, is we want the women in Goddess Creations group this week to just be playing full out with this. So one of the things that Shamna and I agreed is that I'm going to give you an affirmation. I'm going to have you write it 10 times every day. And then I want you to say it out loud. So this is it. You're going to write this affirmation 10 times. You're going to say it out loud 10 times. And then when you're done, you're going to post in Goddess Creations done. Right, Shamna? And then this
Yes.
is going to allow them. Shamna is going to be looking at all of you that have posted done for whatever, I think it's 5 days in a row. And then she's going to choose a winner for an amazing prize that I'm offering.
Yes.
But here's the affirmation: I am open to receiving financial abundance. I am open to receiving financial abundance.
Yes. And there it is. I am open to receiving financial abundance. So at the moment, as we are recording this activity and the prize can be won right up until the Sunday, and I can't remember exactly, but let's just say the Sunday, the 22nd of February 2020. But don't worry, because if you do this, you will see that the abundance will come to you. And what Tasha is sharing is that we uh, write this down, this affirmation, and say it to ourselves 10 times out loud and really feel into it. And actually, here is also it, the sharing, the vulnerability of the sharing is also you stepping up and showing universe that you are serious about receiving this financial abundance. So there are so many layers, and even this simple activity that
Yeah.
we can do. So we're sharing it here so that you watching now and in the future can enjoy this and feel it too.
Yeah, and I want to say, we've talked about the blocks, we've talked about the three things that you can do, but I want to tell you, if you want to speed this up, You want to do this one activity, right? You want to write this affirmation 10 times and you want to say it every day. Here's the science behind why I'm telling you to do this. When you do that, you create a new neural pathway. You literally create new wires in your brain, and your subconscious mind takes this new belief. Oh, you are open to receiving abundance. I didn't know that. Now that I know, right, that we have this new belief that you've implanted. Now that I know that you really do want it, let me start bringing you evidence in your life of it. And that's why we're doing it. We're creating a repeated pattern so that it creates a new belief in our subconscious mind that then creates evidence in our lives. That is science, scientifically proven.
And
Right?
where, Tasha, does this science come from? Just repeat it.
Where does what?
Where does this science come from? As you said the word science, so I'm just wondering, where does this science come from?
Well, this is actually really scientific neuroscience, and it's based on, we all have in our brain something called the reticular activating system, every single one of us, and the function of that part of your brain is to take the information that you feed it and create images that,
Mm.
things in your life that reflect that reality. So by writing this affirmation and saying it out 10 times every day, you're putting that in this part of your brain, and you must then see in your life the evidence of that new belief that's in your brain. It's science, it's a must, right?
And
We're energy, that's how it works. So I want to say that I'm looking forward to all of you when you're done each day, typing the word done so that we know, all of you that played full out, because here's the prize that we're giving away. We are giving away a year's subscription to our Align to Success tribe. The value of that is $1,500. So if you were to go to our website to try to sign up for it, it'd be $1,500 for the year. That's the value. And in that tribe, you get our wealth modules, you get our belief modules, you get our intention setting, journaling, 12 modules. So you could do this over the course of a year that will support you in working on this money story and the financial reality that you're experiencing. So only those, I don't know how Shamna chooses the winner. All I know is you want to be writing your and saying your affirmations 10 times and posting done to get selected as the winner for that prize.
absolutely. Now, because of course this is going to be on replay, I would like to know for those, and I accidentally deleted the email address, I'm just writing that down. Where can we find you if
Yes,
we want to get access to you
yes,
and your tribe outside of this period? Because this is very important. If you already are loving this video and are loving the energy, where can we find you so that we can hook on and enter your tribe
yes.
outside of this?
Okay, so one of the entryways into my world is what we call a money attraction challenge. This is something that I do very often. It's over the course of 5 days. And so what you get is, just like we've been talking about here, 5 days of specific coaching to help you resolve all of your money traumas, really start looking at the beliefs that you have, telling you the specific actions that you need to be taking to receive more money, and having fun. Because one of the things that I absolutely decided was, if I was going to be successful and make as much money as I wanted, it was important to me that I had fun too, right? So I wasn't signing up again to work hard. I was going to have fun and create success. So everything that we do to share this message, we include fun. So there's a major fun element. We give you money to spend. Yes, it's play money, but believe it or not, we have people from all over the world, like close to 5,000 people, I think, in the group right now. And it just goes crazy wild when people have this money to spend every day on all these different ways that we tell you how to spend it. So it's fun, yes, and what it's doing is re-engineering within you your relationship with money.
Yes, and that is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is that the idea that you are spending money in this challenge, money that for most of us we have not even conceived of spending, is so stretching our world. So where is that again that we can
So
go
in
to?
order to sign up for it, whenever you watch this video, you can go ahead and sign up right now, or whenever you see this, it's moneyattractionchallenge.com. Moneyattractionchallenge.com.
There we go, and it's right here. So this is a lovely way of entering Tasha's world so that we can learn more about money manifesting and the energy of being supported in that journey by a lovely tribe. So I would like to say, Tasha, thank you very, 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 very much for
You're welcome.
being with us on this beautiful interview of insights and actually how we can enjoy the money and the abundance in our lives. And I would like to thank you, lovely ladies and men who, of course, can also be watching this outside of the group. I want to thank you for watching too. If you have any questions, reach out to Tasha and also the lovely ladies that have been supporting us with the comments. Thank you very much for that too. And Tasha, once again, thank you. Is there something that you would like to add or ask me or as a roundup?
I just want to say thank you for creating the space to support women in this way, and giving me the opportunity to come and talk about an essential part of our lives, which is money. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. So, lovely ladies, I will be seeing you soon for the next interview. And I want to thank you and I wish you all a lovely day. Goodbye.